Hi, my name's Adam. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about finding balance in retirement. And this comes from our experience with hundreds of clients that are in retirement or getting close to retirement. So we want to cover three things. We want to cover health, lifestyle, and finances. And within each one of the three, I'm going to give you three tips to find balance in those areas. Those are the three main areas I find in retirement that people do struggle with, that people find a tough time getting balance, right? When you go from working full-time to retirement, not only does your income stop, but a lot of other things change. So I want to help kind of bring some balance to all of that. So our channel is mainly focused to help people that are in retirement or getting close to retirement. That's our focus. But we want to give some tidbits and advice throughout every video to help people of any age. So even if you're a bit younger watching this video, you're going to get some tips as you ramp up. And retirement may be 20 years away like it is for me. But I'm already taking tabs on what works, what doesn't work, so that I can kind of gear my world in the right direction. I do want to remind viewers too, we have our Investing Academy. And in our Investing Academy, obviously there's an investing course that Brandon and Mark Beavis put together. There's a lot of other courses in there, including our Financial Masterclass. So that's all in $20 a month. You get a ton of content, Discord, which is a community chat group. And we're actually launching 3 new courses throughout the summer. So July, we're doing OAS, a deep dive into old age security. August will be GIS, and September will be CPP. So sign up now, get in the course, start going through the courses, put a link below. So the first place people have a very tough time finding balance in retirement is your health. When you're working, you're keeping busy. You might go to work, you might hit the gym before work. You have a bit more of a routine. And when you hit retirement, when people pull the pin and hit retirement, the biggest thing gone is that routine. You have to create a new routine, and that can take some time. One of the things I highly recommend is starting a new routine for exercise, for health, before you actually retire. So if you typically go to the gym before work, let's say, or you go for a walk in the morning before work, is that going to line up with after work once you're retired? If it doesn't, you need to switch that routine. Make sure that you have some sort of routine that when you hit retirement, yes, you don't have to go to work every day, but a lot of everything else, working out, eating, choices you make around your health lifestyle, that needs to be geared up before you pull the pin. Now, if you're already in retirement and you're having a tough time finding like workout, health, keeping healthy, all of that, you need to find something that you can do consistently. If you find that, hey, look, every day I'm home from 5 to 6 o'clock prepping dinner, then take some of that time to go on a walk, to do some exercises, some stretches, whatever it is, whatever you need to do on your end, but find a time in the day that you're home or available consistently, like 5 to 7 days a week, and plug that time with 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes of exercise, stretching, something to move the body and keep you going. The second part of this is eating. And health is obviously exercise and eating. And I know I've gone through many times in my life where I'm trying to get in shape, and I always struggle with, okay, well, how much exercise versus how much better eating? And I think any of you that have gone through this know that eating is a massive part of keeping healthy. And what we find, and what a lot of retirees have told us, is that when I hit retirement, I'm at home more. I'm by the snack cupboard more. I grab food more. When you're at work, you're busy. Your mind's busy, and you don't really think about food as much. In retirement, you have to make sure you create healthy lifestyles. And a lot of that might be changing your grocery list. You might have to buy less sweets. If you're finding yourself in the middle of the day grabbing unhealthy food, that's not good for you. It's a sugar high. It's not good for your health today or long term. And it's also not good to keep your mind going, right? If you're feeding yourself with unhealthy food, that doesn't help your mind. And as you get older, you have to keep that mind fresh. And the third thing, and to me this is the most important, is you need to keep moving. Don't sit. I know you might say, well, Adam, I used to go to work for 40 hours a week and just sit at a desk. Now's the time to change that. Sitting at a desk is bad for you. When you retire, sitting in a chair watching TV is also bad for you. And I've seen it firsthand. My 2 grandpas, when they retired, one was very active. He has a farm on Salt Spring Island. My other grandpa sat down a lot more, and it was just the lifestyle. It was where he lived, all of that. He didn't have that property to kind of work on. They were both very, very hard workers. Like, both of my grandpas are very hard, very smart people. But when they hit retirement, I did see one stayed more active than the other. And of course, now they're in their mid to late 80s, and one is definitely moving a lot better than the other person. Not that that's always going to happen, but you need to make sure that you keep moving. You don't become docile in retirement. Find things to do. Find things to keep you moving. Find things to keep you healthy. The second area that people find a really tough time getting balances is lifestyle. And I think a lot of the reason for this and the feedback that we get is a lot of your lifestyle group, your community group is work, right? You show up to work and you have coworkers, and you might do stuff on weekends or after work with coworkers. But when you're retired, your only coworker is your spouse or common law partner if you have one, or maybe your neighbor or your dog. And it does really change. And so you have to find some sort of community, have a group that you can lean on, whether it's for financial stuff, personal stuff, whatever it is. You need to have that community. So search for that. Depends where you live, what your passion is, but find groups in your area that you can be connected with, get friends with, and just kind of start creating that community and that lifestyle around that again. The second part of lifestyle that people have a tough time finding balance in is travel. And a lot of people in retirement, what do we think of when travel in retirement? We think jump on a plane, go down to Phoenix, and sit at the pool for the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 6 months. It's not a very healthy lifestyle. Sure, it sounds great, but it's not very healthy. And I definitely see our clients when they retire, their travel experiences are more go somewhere and sit. My younger clients' travel experiences, I have a client right now, a couple, they're at the F1 race. They're busy. They're always moving. And I think you need to grab a bit of that when you hit retirement. Make sure that you keep moving. A lot of you spend, 2, 4, 6 months down in, let's say the States. And, it's vacation so that you relax. And the reality is that's not a vacation anymore. That's actually that's your lifestyle. And you need to find some more balance in that lifestyle when you're down on vacation. So I encourage you guys. There's lots of sports that you can play, whether it's golf, make sure you're walking with that, tennis. There's a lot of stuff that you can do to keep active. So I encourage you, make sure that you have active vacations and passive vacations. And if you only have passive vacations, you need to stay active on those passive vacations. The third lifestyle one, again, I think this is the most important in the lifestyle category, to find balance would be to use your skill set to help others, to volunteer, to do whatever it is. Most of you had a career and you have a skill set. When you retire, we stop using that skill set. Most of us do. I encourage you to keep using it. If you're an engineer, how can you use that skill set to help your community, help foundations, help people around you? Online, when I retire, my plan is to still help my church. There's stuff in my community. There's people and organizations that need help with finances, groups that need help with finances that I will continue to service. It'll be volunteer hours, but I want to use my skill set to continue to help those around me. And all of you need to do the same. You guys all have, everyone watching this video has a skill set, whether you know it or not. If you don't know what your skill set is, ask someone around you. They'll tell you what your skill set is. It might be sitting down and just talking with people. It might be just being an open ear to people. It's as simple as that sometimes. And a lot of people need that open ear. And if you can be that person to them, trust me, you can have a huge impact on their life and others around you. So make sure that you use your skill set going forward. Keep those things going. You're adding value to your community and to the country, really. So keep that going. The third area is finance. So your financial balance in retirement, this is a huge struggle for people. And this is probably obviously the one that we deal with our clients the most. I want to give you guys 3 tips. And these are 3 things that we see, I would say 90 to 95% of the time. This is a real struggle for most of you. Now, if you're in retirement already and struggling with this, I'll try and give you a few tips to kind of get through this so that you can get rid of these struggles. So the first one is the first 12 to 24 months, expect a transition period. Okay, you go from collecting a paycheck to collecting money from your RSP and your TFSA and your LEAR and your pension and your CPP and your OAS, and you have all these income sources and you're not sure how much tax to pay, where things go, and there's a lot of chaos. And we see this with clients, and even clients that come alongside us, bring their investments, put a plan together, we're really quarterbacking the whole thing. We have it dialed in on our side, but for the client, they're like, okay, I'm going on this trip, where do I pull money from? Okay, I need that new car, we have it in the plan, but where does the money come from? These are questions you're gonna come up all the time. That's why it's important to have a clear plan so that you know where your money's coming from, how much it's going to be, and where it's coming from. If you have big expenditures, where is that money coming from? Is it coming from an RSP? Is it coming from the TFSA? You got to watch taxes, OAS clawback, all of that. You need to have a plan in place. But I will say this, the first 12 to 24 months, even if you're working with a great advisor or advisory firm, there's going to be chaos on your end, and that's okay. It's supposed to happen. We see it again with majority, if not all of our clients. Now it comes after about 2 years, if not a bit sooner, that will level out. You'll get an understanding and kind of some momentum behind it. But again, that's why I think it's important to have someone in the background putting a plan together and guiding you through that transition period. The second financial balancing act, and we're seeing this firsthand right now, is don't deviate from your plan. Don't let a down market completely change your plan. And we've done plans for people in the last few months, and they reach out and say, Adam, my portfolio is down 15, 20%. I need to redo my plan. And the reality is, we know that this is going to happen. When we create a plan, we do an average rate of return. We do a conservative average based on historical performance. But you have to remember, you can't just rejig your plan. So I always say to the client, look, if we were up 15%, are you going to redo it? And it's like, no, then I know I have enough. Okay, but we're in a down market right now. We know we're going to have many more down markets in your retirement. So every time you're going to panic and want to redo your plan, typically when we see a big dip like this, historically, then we see a big rise. Okay, so we're down, let's say 20% this year. What happens in 2023 or 2024? We're up 20 or 25%. It all levels out, and that's where you have to look at a longer picture. Don't hit retirement, deviate from your plan because there's a short-term blip. No, I get it. A lot of you are looking at your portfolio and you're down a lot. On Monday this week when the markets were down, I lost a lot of money. I don't like seeing it either. I've been through it before. I've been through 2008, 2011, 15, 18, 20, and now 22. Well, I've seen these down markets. I've been through it before. I've been through it with clients, but we've always come back to the other side. Look at a 50 or 100-year chart of the index. Grab any index. It's up, but you're gonna have these big blips along the way. Remember, when you hit retirement, you're not pulling all your money out at once. You're pulling it out over a period of time. Keep that in mind. Just because we're in this small window right now where markets are down 20%, don't drastically change your plan. And this is where it's important to have a cash flow plan. If you're in retirement and you're really worried right now, rightfully so. You don't have the ability to go out and earn more money and top up your account. But the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, would be to go just liquidate your account, because now you're locking in those losses. If you're worried about times like this, then make sure you have 1 to 2 years of your income that you're going to draw out of your accounts in cash or in a liquid investment within that account. So if your RSP, you have to draw $30,000 a year, make sure that you maybe have $30,000 to $60,000 of cash or a cash-like instrument within your RSP or your RIF, so that when you need to draw the income, you don't worry about the down markets. Now, I talked to someone yesterday and said, Adam, I'm down 20%. I just want to sell, put everything in a GIC at 2 or 3% and call it a day. Again, that's not my recommendation. I don't like to trigger those losses, but she was adamant. And I said, you know what? At the end of the day, let's put a plan together. Let's run the plan at 2%. And if it meets your retirement needs, then I can't argue against it. I don't think it's the best plan, but there's those types of things that you can look at. But if you have a cash flow plan, have some cash or cash-like instruments aside, it allows you to buffer these downswings. And again, remember, retirement is typically 25 to 35 years for people. You're going to see more of these. The third balancing act for the financial aspect of retirement is spending money early. And a lot of you, when you hit retirement, it's panic mode, right? You don't get that paycheck every 2 weeks. And naturally, a lot of you will just hold your money tight. And you don't go spend it. You don't do the travel you want to do, spend the money you should be spending. If the plan says you can spend the money, go spend the money. The market's down 20%, don't worry about that. You've carved out cash or you carved out a plan. When I create a plan, I expect these 20% down markets. I also expect high on the other side, and I expect a 5 to 10 year average of 5%. You don't want to get to a point later in life where you said, I wish I didn't hold my money so tight. In the first 2 to 5 years of retirement, I wish I'd traveled, I had my health then. You get your 80s and you have more money than you need, and you didn't do all the things you want to do. Creating that ladder strategy, the go-go, slow-go, no-go phase of retirement. If you can create that within a plan, go spend the money in the go-go phase with the comfort that you have enough in the slow-go phase later on, or in the no-go phase. There's only so many years that you're going to be able to do the things that are on your bucket list. Go check off your bucket list and enjoy those years. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, finding balance in retirement is really tough. I see it day in and day out, and there's a lot of different aspects to this. There's a personal, psychological side of it, which is, again, is a huge part of retirement. Then there's a financial side. And between all that, you have to stay healthy. And again, I shared my health scare not too long ago here on this channel. Your health at any age is vitally important. And I find a lot of people, when they hit retirement, they almost put it aside. It's like, I'm retired, I don't have to move. You need to keep that moving. So your health, your lifestyle, all that is vitally important. It's that wedge between your financial and your psychological. If you're struggling with something in retirement, if you've entered retirement and you're having a tough time finding balance in something we haven't talked about, leave a comment below, because I can guarantee you're not alone in this. And this is why I've created this channel, is to share information with you guys, but also to create a community where you guys can have a chat down below. And that's again where our Investing Academy is great, because we have the Discord, which is an online chat group. There's over 1,000 Canadians in there answering questions, sharing questions, thoughts, all that. So if you haven't joined our Investing Academy, again, make sure to join that. We'll put a link below to that. Or leave a comment below on this video. Let the community answer and step in and really give support alongside you. So thanks for joining us in this video. We'll see you in the next one.